St. Johns County's unemployment rate is at a 5-year high.
Some sobering news on the jobs front. Liz Ryan reports.
The numbers coming from the Florida Department of Commerce are not good. Chief Executive Officer of Nexus 360, Greg Blase, sees a troubling trend.
For some time now, we've been sharing with folks that there's weakening in the economy in St. Johns County, and we're seeing that continue to be indicated in the latest unemployment numbers. The warning signs have turned into fewer jobs created and more people standing in the unemployment line.
Blase breaks down the numbers.
Year over year, St. Johns County has over 1,000 fewer people employed and 1,300 plus more residents standing in the unemployment line. We also looked at consumer sentiment data, which is at a declining rate over the past few months. Floridians are feeling pessimistic about the future of our economy.
People want to move to Florida, and the population boom is not helping with the unemployment numbers.
We still have more and more and more people moving to Florida, which pumps up our labor force numbers, and as a result, we get these higher unemployment numbers.
The 4.5% unemployment rate here in St. Johns County is a 5-year high, and Blase doesn't see that turning around.
There's really nothing in sight that leads us to believe that we're going to see lower numbers anytime in the near future.
But it's not all doom and gloom. Here's a silver lining.
The Federal Reserve has indicated that they're going to be cutting interest rates, so that'll help move some investment dollars off the sidelines. It'll help housing, but overall, Nexus 360 is advising business owners to prepare for a long and financially cold winter.
This local news is a service of your hometown Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, conveniently located off I-95 at exit 311.
Well, after that, I suppose you could use some good news.
Hey, come see me, the mayor of the greatest city in America, St. Augustine Beach, and we will have a great time dancing to some honky-tonk down in the historic city of St. Augustine.
The mayor invites you to take part in a 2-day event that begins tomorrow.
The St. Augustine Songwriters Festival. It kicks off at 11:30 at Prohibition Kitchen. Then we roll over to the Colonial Oak to get your dance on till about 10 o'clock. And then that's when the fun begins as we all walk down to Tradewinds, and we will have a honky-tonk party Friday night.
And that's just the beginning. It really heats up Saturday.
Man, it gets better. Again, we start at Prohibition Kitchen, 11:30. Roll to about 3 o'clock. Head to the Colonial Oak. You'll get your boogie on again. And then one last time, St. Augustine, this is your chance to stumble, walk, crawl to Tradewinds and have a great honky-tonk time from 10 until 1:30.
You'll get to mingle with 50 outstanding songwriters.
These are people, Liz, that wrote for every country musician you can think of. Some have Grammys, some have nominated Grammys, but the musicians themselves have all won Grammys, and this is the story behind the song.
You think he's excited about this? For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Liz Ryan.
Even those winds and higher tides were enough to reveal this piece of history.
Back in August, Hurricane Aaron's offshore winds unearthed a fascinating piece of Florida's maritime history on Matanzas Beach. St. Johns County Public Affairs Specialist Joey Pellegrino.
On August 26th, some of our beach services staff members on Matanzas Beach, 2 pieces of debris that turned out to be 2 timbers from a historic shipwreck that researchers from the St. Augustine Lighthouse Archaeological Maritime Program have dated back to at least the 19th century.
One timber was moved to the Beach Services office on Pope Road and remains under a moist tarp for preservation. The other was carefully buried several feet deep under sand. This was to preserve it from heat, from looters, and from bad weather. Researchers also used GPS and hundreds of photographs to digitally preserve the find.
And that GPS scan will let them piece together sort of a 3D model digitally of that timber in a computer, and will allow them to examine it later even without physically having the timber.
This collaboration between St. Johns County Beach Services and the Lighthouse Archaeological Maritime Program is helping preserve a rare glimpse into Florida's seafaring history.
It's a good reminder of Florida's maritime past, how connected St. Johns County and the entire coast was with the shipping trade for centuries before we even had steamships or before there was more shipping by air. And, a lot of these shipwrecks ended up happening off Florida's coast, and there are still many yet to be found.
And now you're up to date with St. Augustine's Local Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.